this morning. Oh, thank you, David. Thank you, David. We're happy to have you all here this morning to join us for this meeting so we can talk about what's going on in your community, talk about what's going on with Speak for the Trees, and to hear from new people. I think I've seen a couple of new names to see if they have any questions. I wanted to add anything to the group. And I think that's about it. That is about it. So again, welcome everybody. Next slide, please. As you all are familiar, our buff norm meetings, our meeting norms, to keep your questions to a minimum. We are recording. Keep your microphones on mute so we don't pick up any background noise. And please raise your hands if you have questions or when it's time for your community updates. Next slide. Happy spring. Happy spring, everybody. I think we haven't quite seen spring yet. I don't think. I mean, this is typical spring for us in Boston, but I'm looking for more sunshine. I hope many of you enjoyed the eclipse the other day. That was probably like the best day that we've had in the last 2 weeks since spring started. But I'm looking forward to better spring days. All right, so we have our updates, community updates, announcements coming up. We have Speak for the Trees updates. Let me let someone else in the room. You hear about Arbor Week, our community celebration coming up. You're gonna hear from our tree keepers, from Mackay, open discussion, comments, survey, and then our next meeting day. All right, so let's get into the community updates. Please raise your hands, and we'd love to hear from you and what's going on in your part of town or your neck of the woods. Okay, Sarah Freeman, you're always first. I love it. Good morning.
I don't know why I always think that, oh, maybe no one has an update. So I'll break the ice and assume there will be others. I have one local and one for everyone. And the one for everyone is, you may have all heard about a group called Trees as a Public Good. They are hosting a webinar, a Zoom webinar, part of Earth Day /week on Sunday, the 21st. And at 7 o'clock on Zoom. And they're going to have several scientists and some case studies, some familiar faces you may recognize from this group. So they're still accepting co-sponsors. If you want to be listed on the publicity, they need to know by Sunday. And I'll put in the chat a link to register to attend for anyone. And then if you want to co-sponsor, there's an email. You can just say your group would like to, if you have to check with the board, or you can get back to them later. But it sounds good. I'm excited. I'm not presenting or anything, but very enthusiastic to support. The local update is Shattuck Hospital again. You may have heard there was a city council hearing on April 4th. How to summarize a 5-hour hearing in 1 minute. Councillor Anderson was bringing it to the committee chaired by Councillor Fitzgerald on public health, homelessness, and recovery, or I think that's the title. And her approach was equity, and how the same kind of projects always seem to get proposed in District 7. And yes, of course, we need recovery services, but on the panel expressing opposition, there's a woman named Leah Randolph, who I think my 1-sentence summary would be, if you can listen to the hearing, I'll try to find the link for the chat. She knows what works, having been in recovery herself a long time, but also running clinics and being the statewide head of the Black Alcoholism and Addiction I might be getting the title slightly wrong, but it's really compelling to hear, um, based on experience, and also people who live on Mass and Cass and have lived in the cottages are saying, no, no. When one woman who runs is a supervisor, Judge Solomon Carter Fuller, I might be reversing names, was speechless when she heard the description. It's like, whoa. So it kind of gives me the feeling that, yes, this is an issue worth trying to shine a light on and hope for better outcomes. Not saying no to recovery, but no to that model size and location. And it's a big state. Let's spread this out and be effective. Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. I did hear about that, and I have heard the opposition to it. And it's, yeah, I think it's very valid points on that end, because a lot of things do go on in District 7 that could be done in other places with more resources. You know, the resources are stretched pretty thin here already, and it's just going to exacerbate the situation and make it worse. Personal opinion. Okay. Any other updates? Okay, Alyssa. Good morning. Welcome to Buff.
Thank you. I hope everyone's doing well today. I'm Melissa. I'm a paralegal at the Conservation Law Foundation. I know some of us here on this call. Hi, Sarah, and a few others. Nice to see you. I know Amia has been to these meetings before, so she may have already given this update, so sorry if I'm repeating. But I just wanted to let you guys know that at the Conservation Law Foundation, we are currently working on some research for gas leaks, which I don't know if you guys are aware, but they really are affecting street trees in the Boston area. And that basically happens because the methane from these gas leaks are getting into the root zones of trees and displacing the oxygen there. And that's causing the trees to kind of die and decline, which really is unfortunate because we love our trees and we know how important they are for our communities. And so I won't say too much on it, but just that we are trying to spread awareness about the issue, and we're interested in having some folks who are interested chat with us. So I can drop at least my contact information in the chat. And if anyone wants to hear more, is interested about working together with us on this, feel free to let me know. Thank you.
Alyssa, that's great. We've actually well, Speak for the Trees has done work with Boston University, the BU Urban biogeoscientist, and one of the focuses was on gas leaks. And David, you probably could speak more about relationships in the past, but we definitely know that gas leaks are a huge tree killer. So thank you for bringing that up and sharing. And please put your information in the chat.
Absolutely, thank you. And yes, we've definitely worked with David and Speak for the Trees, which has been amazing. So thank you to David as well.
Oh, perfect. All right. Good morning, Bill. You're up next.
Thanks, Jarrell. Hi, everyone. I'm Bill Masterson with Tree Eastie. Just a few updates in terms of some of the work that we're doing in East Boston. We had our first planting last Friday, where we planted 14 bare root trees with the city at Noyes Park, which went really well. We actually had about 12 volunteers from Suffolk University join in as well. They helped us and the arborists plant the trees, so we're real happy about that. We've got a Earth Day cleanup taking place the 20th, which coincides with the Mayor's Love Your Block event. And there we have volunteers that are coming out to clean areas as well as mulch trees, street trees, and park and school trees in East Boston. We're going to be assisted in that effort by students from Northeastern University, the Sunrise Club, which was really exciting. And the next day after that, the 27th, we've got another tree planting in a park, Brophy Park in East Boston, where, the Earth Day is the 20th of April. We've got an Arbor Day event taking place at Memorial Park in East Boston, which, if anybody's driven to the airport, it's that big stadium that you see before you get into the airport, where we're working with the city to do an Arbor Day event, planting trees, mulching trees, doing a cleanup. The location is right next to the airport. It abuts the airport. You could smell the diesel fumes from the plane. East Boston has one of the highest childhood asthma rates in the city because of all of the car exhaust fumes or cars idling at the airport. So that location is really impacted by the airport, and we're excited to be planting more trees there. That's on the Arbor Day, the 26th, and the 27th is when we have a park planting in East Boston. Brophy Park will be planting 9 trees there, and that will be assisted in that planting with students from BU. So we're real excited about tying into some of the local universities and colleges, in addition to our own volunteer base, to be able to get more trees planted here. And that's it. Thanks for the opportunity to share that.
Thank you, Bill, as always. Great updates, and you're doing such great work in East Boston. Can't wait to collaborate and work with you on our tree giveaways in the fall. So looking forward to all the progress and seeing all the trees out there. All right. Next is Erica Holm. Good morning, Erica.
Good morning. And yeah, Bill, that is so awesome. Keep it up. I love to hear your updates too. We are doing at the Boston Nature Center. I'm not going to talk about the Boston Tree Alliance, but I think Amara might talk about that for a second. But at the Boston Nature Center, we are having a little Arbor Day. It's not like a public event, but we are having some air spading and heritage tree preservation actions being done for some large trees on the site. And we're also having some pruning, and we've had some stump grinding done. So we're working with Hartney Graymont, Arborway Tree Care, and we're getting some Arborwear t-shirts for our arborists who are donating their services. So just to put that out there to anyone in the group, the Massachusetts Arborist Association does an Arbor Day of Service event every year. Every other year, they meet at a large central location, and all the arborists go donate work at that location. We are in a dispersed event year, so the arborists are sometimes looking for sites to contribute. So if you need an arborist, check out the Arbor Day website on the Massachusetts Arborist Association's website, and you might be able to list your site as a place, and you might be able to get a lot of free work. And then the other update I wanted to just give was yesterday I was part of a Northeast Seed Network call. I'm going to put a link in the chat to, I think, just an article about a national native seed conference that's coming up. But I really think that seed collecting and tree propagation and tree genetics are going to become a really interesting, to the scientists among us, concept as we plant more and more trees. So I've got my eye on that. It's a really great group. And if your group could get involved in that or has interest in propagating, preserving seeds, or just learning more about that, definitely check out what Eve Allen, she's an MIT student, and then EcoHealth Global is where she's at now. Really looking forward to her work coming out and addressing that we all need trees now, and the nursery industry is not going to be able to keep up with the need for native plants in the next few years. So it's a good group to get on board with early on and just stay in touch with. So it was a good meeting yesterday. Thanks.
As always, Erica, thank you very, very much. Alice, good morning.
Good morning. I'm Alice with the Boston Food Forest Coalition. Just a couple updates. We're having a groundbreaking event for our new food forest that we're building in Grove Hall in collaboration with the local tenants association and Project Right. So that's going to be oh boy, that's going to be tomorrow. So that'll be exciting. So we're excited about that site. And otherwise, we've got a bunch of, we're filling out our calendar with workshops and educational events focused on food forests and permaculture. And also have a couple of our stewardship teams around Boston that are looking to build out their teams and get some more volunteers. So we've got sites, 10 sites around Boston. So if you know anyone who's interested in getting their hands dirty and working in a sort of hyper-local way, love to talk. Thank you.
Thank you, Alice. Great update. I'm familiar with Project Right, so I know that they made the right choice, trying to, install the food forest in the Grove Hall area. So a lot of people don't know that Grove Hall used to be an orchard. Back in the days, back in the early 1900s, used to be an orchard. People used to take trolleys from out of town just to come to pick oranges and other things. I think oranges. I could be wrong about that, but there's some fruit that they used to pick in Grove Hall. So thank you. All right, Susan, good morning. You're up next.
Hey, good morning. Let me, I'll lower my hand later. Susan Stamps from Arlington. I'm on the Arlington Tree Committee and also a new group that we started last year called Green Streets Arlington to work as part of the MBTA community zoning process to make sure that there was going to be plenty of open space to plant trees and have various green space amenities provided for in the zoning. That was a big push last year for Green Streets Arlington. We were very successful. We got all apartment buildings built under the multifamily zoning overlay will have 15-foot setbacks. So there'll be plenty of room for benches and trees and maybe little gardens and that sort of thing. And we really, we felt it was a good, setting a good precedent for future planning in town. In fact, one of the ideas we had was to require that from now on, any new parking lots would have to be shaded. It'd have to be at least 50% shaded with parking lots or solar panels. We were told we couldn't do that as part of the MBTA process, but we do have a warrant article for town meeting, which starts in a couple of weeks, providing for a new provision in our zoning bylaw that all new parking lots or expanded parking lots over a certain size will have a shade tree planted every 8 parking spaces, and no parking space will be within 32 feet of a, or excuse me, it will be more than 32 feet away from a tree. So we're very excited about that. We've already seen there's a lot of community support for that, and we are going to stay together. We came together around MBTA community zoning, but now we've done this, and we plan on staying together because, as you know, there's always stuff that needs to be done in the community to make it greener, healthier, more trees to clean the air, sequester the carbon, all that kind of stuff. Just very quickly, on the tree committee, we're very excited that finally, after years of negotiating with our DPW director, we are going to be able to start a back of sidewalk planting program. We've got it all in place, and we're going to start this year, and we're scouting out locations in Arlington, like, for example, the big apartment buildings that have these wide swaths of lawn with no trees or shade whatsoever. So we're going to be able to use this program to make a big difference there. And also, just very quickly, a shout out to the woman from Conservation Law Foundation. We are extremely active in dealing with gas leaks in Arlington, and I will be calling you. Thank you.
Awesome, Susan. Thank you very, very much. I love the emphasis on the shade. Shade is so important. Definitely. Thanks for the great updates from Arlington. All right. Next up is Amara. Good morning, Amara. Good to see you.
Hey, Jarrell. Good to see you too. Hey, everyone. Thanks so much for letting me speak. I just wanted to provide some updates for the Boston Tree Alliance really quickly with letting folks know we're just in our final rounds of application approval. So we have 5 applications that we're looking to get finalized in the next week or so. So we're really looking forward to letting everyone know about what those projects are going to be, what this year is going to look like for those projects. And also we still have a funding opportunity open and available for community-based organizations and nonprofits. And that's, again, for tree planting and care on privately owned land in the city of Boston. So if folks are interested in learning more about that funding opportunity, I'll just put that in the chat as well. But really excited to kind of get the word out about what's going to be going on once we have those things finalized. So thanks, Jarrell.
Thank you, Amara. As always, a great update. And I will do my best to attend the next meeting. Was anyone here at the meeting yesterday? Anyone else? I don't know if that's Sal. Okay. All right. Any other updates, community updates before we move on? Okay, not seeing anybody's hand raised except Amara. You're still up there. Do you have more to say? All right. David, can we move on to? Oh, hey, Erica. Welcome back.
I just have one more. Sorry. I just I noticed just driving around the city that the city has been planting, has started spring planting, and I just wanted to thank them for all of their work in getting trees and planting public trees around the city. That's a lot of work for those arborists. So thank you, Todd, and to your team as well.
Yeah. Congrats, Todd. David, the list that came out the other day, with all the street trees, I looked up all the street trees in my neighborhood are all named and everything. The locations are pretty accurate. I forgot the name of the list, David, but it's pretty cool. So thanks, Todd, if your team had something to do with that, which I'm sure they did.
Is that the inventory list, Terrell?
Inventory list, that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, the city did a street tree inventory a couple of years ago. All that data has been, I think, double checked by your team, Todd, and new trees are being put in now in that database. I don't have the link in front of me. And it's actually public data that is now fully accessible on our map, our adopted tree map that we hope to roll out in the next couple of weeks. But I've been saying that for years now. So
All right, thanks, David. Thank you.
and it's glad to hear that it's accurate, because that is one of the hardest things to do, is to make sure that you're putting the dot in the right place.
Yeah, I was very impressed because first my default is to always check the trees in front of my house. And they're in there, the species is correct. And then I check the trees at my garden and those trees that are correct. So I love it. It's pretty accurate so far. So as far as I know. All right. Okay, so we're gonna move on into our Speak for the Trees updates. Let's see. Where are we? All right. So Arbor Week. Do we have an Arbor Week update from someone from our staff?
Well, Danya is not here, our Arbor Week intern, but Arbor Week kicks off Arbor Week is on April 26th this year, the last Friday in April, and we are celebrating with a whole host of events, a week full of events. I think the most exciting one is we're inviting Dr. Christine Carmichael from Michigan to come speak about her new book called Racist Roots, about the history of tree inequity and what we can do about it. She has done some really amazing research in Detroit, and I know, Todd, that you know her from your days there. And we have 3 events happening. The first one is going to be happening Monday, the 22nd at More Than Words in the South End. The second one will be Tuesday evening at the Urban Farming Institute in Mattapan. And on Wednesday, she'll be speaking at Frugal Bookstore in Roxbury in Nubian Square. We also have some other events. We'll drop the links in there. We hope you can join us. We'll be selling her book as well. It's a self-published book. But yeah, invite your friends. And then Julia, if you have the link to the Arbor Week calendar, there's some other events. We have forest bathing, we have seedlings that we're giving away, we have a tree giveaway. I'll let Jarrell talk about that celebration event. And we're really thrilled for the diversity of events we have this year. So thank you all, and we hope to see you in person.
All right, thank you, David. But I made a little bit of a mistake because we have someone that we need to introduce, David. We have a new person on our staff, Jonathan Cheney. I will let you introduce yourself, sir. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Jonathan. I'm an ISA certified arborist, and I've been a climber and a plant healthcare technician in the arboriculture industry for the last 4 years. So I'm looking forward to working with everyone. I'm not a Bostonian. I'm from the Worcester area, so I'm not too familiar with the city, but I'm slowly learning my way. So any help from you would be great. And if I can provide any information to anyone, just feel free to reach out.
Thank you, Jonathan. Appreciate you. And Jonathan's already been to work already, you know, fixing trees and doing his best that he can to, you know, to get used to the work that we do here at Speak for the Tree. So thank you, Jonathan, for the intro. All right, I will go over to Josh Reed, our education coordinator. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, Joe. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for giving me this time. I have two quick updates. The first one is, for those who don't know, we've been working with some graduate students at Northeastern who have, as part of their capstone, have been working on a comparative policy paper on private tree ordinances across the U.S. So, you know, and they're about finished with that. And so that final report and a shorter, like a brief and some like a toolkit that they've put together will be available soon, and, you know, can be used hopefully to support advocacy groups that are advocating for private tree ordinance in Boston, and also some really cool educational materials that can share out. So I'm excited to have that soon for folks. The second announcement that I have is we are recruiting for our summer Teen Urban Tree Corps program. So for those who don't know, the Teen Urban Tree Corps is our youth job program. And over the summer, where, you know, so over the summer we hire 25 Boston Boston youth ages 14 to 18 for a 7-week program that's really a career exploration opportunity for them. They get a chance to learn about green careers through lessons that we lead, taking them to green spaces in Boston, connecting them with folks already in the field. And then they do some hands-on work with us as well. Whether it's the tree care work that we do on street trees in Dorchester, or assisting us in developing outreach materials and other projects. So we're recruiting, we have 25 slots for youth. And we also are still looking for 2 more team leaders, which are young adult supervisors, to help manage the program and be mentors for the participants in the program. Those folks are 19 to 25. So I will drop the links to both of those applications in the chat too. Yeah, I think that's all I got. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Josh. Looking forward to seeing your young folks this summer. All right. I will move over now to Makai for our tree keepers update. Good morning, Makai.
Good morning, Darrell. Good morning, all. Yeah, the Community Tree Keepers Training Program is a brand new program that we're offering at Speak for the Trees. We're offering it to community members, and it entails 2 days of class-like workshops where we teach participants the importance of having trees in their urban neighborhoods, as well as the skills they need to take care of them. These workshops will include information such as benefits of trees, tree identification, and how to identify potential threats to your trees, as in invasive insects and diseases. It also have tree care lessons, which are a bit more hands-on. We'll go over how to properly plant a tree, how to take care of it, with lessons on mulching, watering, and pruning, and as well as how to identify when your tree is healthy versus unhealthy. The goal of the program is to give community members the knowledge they need to build their capacity to fight for environmental justice in urban neighborhoods. We currently offer classes in Dorchester, Mattapan, Allston Brighton, East Boston, and Roxbury. And any help to get the word out there, to get participants and get community members involved, will be greatly appreciated.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Makai. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So I will give the next update. We will be celebrating on April 27th. Last year, Speak for the Trees partnered with the Environmental Protection Agency, the EPA, to put together a tree stories program, gathering tree stories from community members and setting up community tree walks. I know I've shared this with you all in the past, but now we are wrapping that grant up and it's culminating with a celebration, a community celebration in Mattapan on the 27th. We are also having a tree giveaway at the same time. I just put both links in the chat, so you can register to come to the event, or you can register to come pick up a tree. They're both in the chat there, and yeah, we're partnering with the Edgewater Neighborhood Association and the EPA, as well as our community partners. We worked with NOAA in East Boston, the Carmen Square Community Development Corporation, and many others. So we would definitely love if you would all come out to celebrate with us. We will have food, we will have music, we will have activities, and it's going to be a day. It's Saturday the 27th, and we would love to have you all there. If you have any questions, please, reach out to us, and yeah, register to come and register for a tree. Anybody who needs a tree here, sign up, and we'll give you a tree that day. All right. Also, so I think our last meeting, I can't remember if it was our last meeting, Julia, good morning, Julia, had introduced you all to some new features on our Buff website. I'm not sure if anyone here had time to check that out, but our website is being updated as we speak. And now we are in the process of deciding on what our logo should be for Boston Urban Forest Friends. We do have a couple of, we have a few images that we received from a local artist, I think, Julia, a local artist. And I'm trying to put it in the chat here so you all can take a look at it to let us know if you think any of these logos would be good for Buff. Oh,
I'll just share my screen.
Thank you.
These are the three, and I don't know anything about this. So Julia, do you want to just sort of talk through here? Because I know you've been leading on this.
Yeah. So I found this volunteer on a platform called Catch a Fire, where people basically just like volunteer their time, expertise, talents to help small organizations. So I kind of just showed her Speak for the Trees' website, showed her the Buff website, and kind of just like honestly let her have free reign. I said it was a lot about community, so I think that that's where like the tree branches and the hands come together. And then obviously the one on the left on the bottom is like more of like a Boston themed. So I really liked all of them. I don't really have a preference, so I'd love to hear any feedback, and also I could send her anything we want to change or anything. So just let me know any feedback you guys have. That'd be appreciated.
Thank you, Julia. Appreciate that. Any live feedback that we can get from folks right now? Don't be shy. It's okay. You won't be judged based on your opinion. Go ahead, Susan.
Is it just my computer, or is that green color kind of a pea green? Or an army green?
I'm going to answer yes to both questions.
Because I find that the tree logos that I like are the ones that are bright and friendly and welcoming. This is very dark. I like the designs. I like all the designs, especially the one with showing the city behind, but I think the colors, the black trees and the dark atmospheres, I don't like it.
Awesome. Thank you, Susan. All right, Anne. Good morning, Anne. How are you?
Great. Hi, everybody. So I think I missed on the intro. Is this a proposed new logo for the whole organization?
No, just for Buff, because we do not have like
just for
a
Buff,
logo
right.
represent
Okay.
us. Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. So I very much agree with the comments about the colors being I like those colors, but I don't think they're right for the logo. They seem kind of you know, I don't know, dark fairy tale fable-ish colors to me. So I actually like the one on the left, but I feel like it doesn't, that it's a lot like, conceptually, it's a lot like the overall logo for, Speak for the Trees. And I kind of feel like the buff one should be conceptually different. So the ones with the hands, I like the idea of them, of the hands becoming the tree branches. But again, they look a little kind of like, I don't know, Grimm's fairy tale illustrations to me, a little foreboding. So is there a way to make them friendlier looking, I guess, is my feedback.
Thank you so much, Anne. Duly noted. All right, Ilani, you're up next. Good morning.
Good morning, Gerald. Good morning, everyone. I am going to disagree about the dark colors. I think that those are, you know, pretty accurate colors as far as the tree barks. They are brown. They are beautiful shades of black and brown and dark colors. So that's my opinion on the colors. I can tell that she put a lot of time into each one of these. Just the detail in each one is pretty remarkable. So so yeah, I want to thank her, the artist, for taking the time to do this. I think that because it's Boston Urban Forest Friends, there should be a tie with the city of Boston and trees. So you know, there's that piece on, you know, which the skyline image, you know, would capture that. But my personal favorite is the hand growing out into roots or trees. That's my personal favorite. And that's it. I don't have it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ilani. Appreciate that. All right, any more comments or feedback? All right, well, everybody's, oh, Sarah, go ahead.
Sorry, I was slow on getting to the raised hand. More questions rather than answers. As I was looking at them, I was thinking I like features of all of them. I agree that the one on the left that people liked is very similar to the Speak for the Trees logo. Maybe that's not a bad thing. The other thing that, as I was comparing, because there are things to like about different features to like about each, is when you think of trees, do you think of them with the leaves or during the winter when you just see the skeleton? And I'm not sure if I had to vote right now, which we're not doing, I'd have a real problem because I do like things about each of them. So good luck in the decision.
Great point, Sarah. Thank you very, very much. Well, all of your comments and suggestions and thoughts will be, as I said earlier, duly noted and taken into consideration. This is just the first round of logo ideas that we've had presented to you all, and we will keep you updated with the next round. I'm sure that we will get some make some changes, and Julia will reach out to the artist potentially, and we'll see what we have for you. Probably by the next meeting, we'll see. We have a busy month ahead of us with Arbor Week and all. So if not by the May meeting, maybe June. We'll see. We'll figure that out. And we do have a lot coming up in the upcoming months. It is our tree planting season. We are back in the swing of things. And I'm excited about it. I hope you're all excited to, stick with us and to follow us and to work with us, because we look forward to working with you all as well. And if there's
Carl,
anything,
can I make a quick plug or two quick things?
I was going to open the floor.
Oh, thank you. I meant to share this earlier. So folks may know about this event that's coming up. It's called the Nature of Cities. It is both happening in person in Berlin, but there is a week, I think it's already started actually, no, it's just next week. That's virtual. A bunch of talks. I think I'm giving a talk one of these days. I can't remember which day. About the lexicon of change and talking about words and how tree equity sort of helps frame how we talk about urban design and urban thinking. So a lot of great talks there. I think there are a couple on forestry as well, urban forestry that are pretty cool. So this is a nice festival. And then if folks are around next week, I'm joining a couple of artists over at BC. We're talking about the future of the planet, reimagining an equitable environmental crisis. And there's an independent sort of artist from Mexico who we're going to be hosting next week. Their name is Ali Zuniga. And we're going to be joined by a professor of literature in the Spanish department, as well as in the Irish Studies department, having a roundtable. So that will be hopefully an interesting event that's being sponsored by Boston College and the Schiller Institute. Jarrell, do you have a update on the symposium? We don't have a date yet, do we?
The date was June 29th. And
okay.
But I do not have an update on the symposium.
Okay. So just so people, for those of you who are new to the group, every year Jarrell does a great job in creating a live symposium. So this will be our third symposium. We do not have a date yet or a location. I know he's been hard at work at that. So it'll be sometime in mid to late June, Jarrell. Is that fair to say? We're hoping?
That is correct.
All right. Yes. So we'll keep you posted on that. And, mark your calendars, get ready, because it's going to be another great gathering.
Yes. All right. So I believe that is all. If we don't have anything else to say, David, would you mind pulling up the last couple of slides? Okay, we kind of covered that already with the logo talk, unless anyone else has anything else to discuss. All right, next slide. As always, we ask you to, next slide, to take our Boston Urban Forest Friends survey. Oh, thanks. We put the link in the chat. Someone grab that link and put it in the chat. Thank you, David, or whomever did that. Yeah, so please take the survey, and you can actually find that in the email link that we sent to you to remind you about the meeting. And the next slide. All right, so we'll see you at our next meeting on May 10th. Same time, 11 to 12 p.m. And I thank you all for joining us today. And feel free to reach out to anyone that is here in the group. You can email me and we can make the connections. Also visit the Buff website, which is bostonforest.com, and you can sign up or send your information to Julia, and then she can add your profile to our website so that people can contact you if they need you. And with that, thank you all very much. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your Friday, and we'll see you next time.